Welcome to part 14. In this video we're going to make a user list page which lists out all the users and allows us to either view their profiles or follow them. So you can go ahead and copy this HTML down here where I include the header and have a div that calls this getUserList function and prints out all the users that are returned, and as well as links to profile.php and follow.php. And the ID for each of these is the specific user. So we're going to write the getUserList function first. It's going to take in a variable called db. And the code in here is very simple. It's just going to be a database request where we ask for all the users. So empty. And users, we're going to basically convert this result from an iterator to an array. Whoops. And we're going to pass in the result. And now we're going to return this array of users. And also go back to your home.php. You might remember writing this user data line. We're going to copy it in right here with no changes. And now if we go back to our page, we can see the list of users in the database. Now we have this follow link here. It doesn't do anything yet because we haven't written follow.php, but that's what we're about to do. So the setup is pretty simple, similar to everything else. You start the session, you connect to the database. If there isn't an ID defined, then get out of here. But if there is an ID, then what we can do is put that into the database, in particular into the following collection. So this is going to be a new entry of a user following another user. So the user ID is the ID of the user that is going to be followed, and the follower ID is the ID of the current user. And what we're going to do with this information is we're going to link to our database and the following table, and we're going to insert one new entry. This entry is an array. And this array has two properties. It's got a user, where we're going to insert a new MongoDB bson object ID, which is annoying to write out, but that's how you do it. And then we're going to have a follower as well. Follower ID. Great. So now that we've asserted that to the database, we can redirect the user back to userlist.php. And that looks good. So now if we return back here, say we want to follow Gabby. Now we can't see any of those any of the changes that have occurred. We could visit her profile and look at her tweets, but if we go to our home page, we won't see any of her tweets in our newsfeed, and that's because we haven't written a newsfeed yet. So we're going to do that in the next video. So